But if I missed you, I just look at the picture, see Winnie, and it's gone. The feeling.
Come on.
Yeah, that works without sound, I'm pretty sure.
Jurgen, how do you feel about what you've experienced today? Because it's not a normal thing for a manager to get sent off like that.
No, I don't think it's normal. I knew for a long time already that our relation is pretty special. I love that. I really think that the people make the difference for this club. How I said, these people are the superpower of this club. These people keep the club going. These people push the club. These people carry the club through difficult moments. These people are the club. And so I was not, obviously we had a really a good time together. 9 years, nearly a decade. It was absolutely crazy. Kids who were today in the stadium, kids of the staff who were today in the stadium, and so after the game, they don't know another manager of Liverpool to see. That's how it is. I just think I was always there and will always be there, and that now I'm gone. I expect that. I was a bit afraid of a breakdown. I had 1 or 2 moments during the week where it was not great, and I had during the game the last few minutes were tricky. But the general feeling today was it felt for me more like a start than an end, because it's not. I know the goodbye is about me, but in general it's about the team, and I saw a wonderful team. I saw a wonderful team on the way. I saw a team who is ahead of schedule in their development. So it's a tough league, and you never know where you start again. But it's really, it's not just a good football team. And I saw all the young players who saved our backside a couple of times this year, and none of them, besides Connor and Jarrell played. Connor was on the bench, and the other boys were all not involved. So they are there as well. And that's what gave me the feeling, okay, so a job done. I love you all. I love all. And everything about the club, but it's time for me to go. But look, it's not burning behind me, so that gives me a good feeling. So we are not. That's not that you think, oh, come on, get out of here. So I know I can come back, and I will come back. And how I said after the game from today, 3 hours ago when the game finished, by the way, I'm a Liverpool supporter, and I love that.
We've heard many stories this week about how you've impacted people in the city. We've also had that moment here at Anfield where the whole of Anfield was singing your song for the last few minutes of the game, at least as well. I just wonder if there's anything like that, or anything that you've heard in these last 24 hours, even this last week, that's really impacted you as well as... Everything
impacted me. It was fantastic. I said the boys showed class, but it's difficult to deal with these kind of things. I could not use the exit of the AXA training ground. I cannot go out there. I would still stand there and sign autographs. The people show me so much love. It's fine. I cannot come to my house and stuff like this. It's all nice, but it's like it's really difficult to take. It's so positive, and I wish it would be for somebody else, and I would be his best friend. So that would be great. My best friend gets all this attention, but I get all the attention. That's really tricky to take, to be honest. I just try to get through this, and there will be a moment when when nobody asks me anymore, nobody looks at me anymore, and I go down for a few hours or days. I don't know. We will see that. But for the moment, I have to function. I have to keep going and do that. But it was today wonderful. I want to thank everybody about it. Look, I love how we said goodbye to the staff. How the players said goodbye to the staff, said it not already to colleagues, but for the public it's Jurgen Klopp, Jurgen Klopp, Jurgen Klopp, Jurgen Klopp. But Jurgen Klopp is Pep Linders, Jurgen Klopp is Peter Gavitz, Jurgen Klopp is Vitor Matos, Jurgen Klopp is John Achterberg, Jack Robinson, Tavarel. Jurgen Klopp is Andreas Kornmeier, Andreas Schlumberger. Jurgen Klopp is so much more than Jurgen Klopp. I alone would have done absolutely nothing. And it's really nice how the people did that today, because everybody felt really appreciated. I don't have a lack of appreciation, obviously. Everybody shows me in the first moment and tells me I will miss you. I'm happy that all the other guys got their attention as well. It was an absolutely incredible and wonderful time. I love it. My family was on the pitch, which was nice, really nice. Now we'll have a party. Then we will come back next week for another event, and I will come back occasionally. Just how I said, as a supporter now, and I'm fine with that. Honestly, I'm maybe not for the first game of the season. When starts the season, by the way? 17th. Sorry?
17th August.
Oh no, I don't have time then. That's early. Wow. Maybe after the second international break or something like that. So it's look. What can I say? I decided there must be a difference if you. If the things go bad, always worse, and then or if the things go well, and you go, and I'm really happy that we could have done it that way. So that's it. That we did it that way. Yeah. Third, that's all right.
And we're joined by a man who looks good in every metric. That's Leroy Senior. Did you write that?
Yeah, I did actually.
We'll talk about the champions very shortly, but there is some breaking news. Liverpool Football Club can announce that Arne Slot has agreed a deal to become the club's head coach, formally taking up the position on June the 1st, 2024, and that's subject to a work permit. So we thought everything was done and dusted. It isn't, because we knew Klopp was going, but Arne Slot's the new man in charge. We pretty much knew that anyway, didn't we?
It's the worst kept secret, really, wasn't it? It was rumoured. We all knew Jurgen Klopp was on the pitch singing Arne Slot's name, so it was inevitable. But this is the official announcement, and now Liverpool can move forward.
Yeah, look, you won't get a smoother transition. I've never known a manager who's said he's going to leave singing the new manager's song the day before he's announced. So look, it's a smooth transition, and let's hope that Arne Slot picks up from where Jurgen Klopp left off.
Absolutely. So, official confirmation, Liverpool have got Arne Slot as their new manager for next season. We'll keep a very close eye on that. But for now,
the final fist pumps in front of the adoring Klopp, as it has been in pretty much all of Jurgen Klopp's time at Anfield. Danke, Jurgen, was the message at Anfield ahead of the game and then after the game. It was really interesting. We saw that VT then. It's all been very emotional. It's all been quite tear-jerking. And then, as soon as the final whistle went, the players and Jurgen Klopp made their way off the pitch, and they came back on for the presentation. After which, it was all very celebratory, because there's a lot to celebrate in his time as Liverpool manager, Michael.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, quite incredible, absolutely, yeah, to celebrate. Jurgen Klopp will give fans, or has given fans moments that they will never, ever forget. This has been the most incredible 9 years to be a Liverpool fan. From minute one, he got the city, he got the people. I think people warmed to him straight away. Wasn't the easiest of starts. There were a few calling for his head after a few months. However, for the majority of the time, there's been a total love affair between manager and the club and the city. They've won everything, absolutely everything. I think the one thing that he'll possibly regret is these boys.
Listen, I had nothing to do with it, by the way.
Being around, because, to win one league with the team that Jurgen Klopp, or the teams that he's had in those 9 seasons, has been incredible. But almost, you'd expect them to win more than that. But every trophy is in the cabinet. Some of the most incredible memories. But he's not just what he won, it's how he won it as well. The style of football, everything about it. And he's going to be virtually impossible to replace.
It's been really interesting, Darren, that people have been sharing their memories of Jurgen Klopp's time at Liverpool. Very, very rarely do they mention winning the Premier League title and winning the Champions League trophy in Madrid. They talk about other times that have happened during his time at Liverpool. It's been as Michael said, it's been about the everything rather than the individual titles.
Yeah, I mean, I work for a newspaper that very much is a newspaper that is connected to that area. And when you talk about Jurgen Klopp in connection with Liverpool, it's a city, and it's a city as a whole. There is respect from him on the blue half, there's admiration for him on the red half. You talk to the Hillsborough families about the impact and the way that he put football aside to really connect and bond with them. You talk to anybody. He did lots of fan podcasts before he left.
Which was his choice, which he asked to do.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that there's that phrase, sleeping giant. And he went there and he woke up a sleeping giant. He electrified the city. He electrified the club. He gave them confidence. He gave players confidence. I saw an interview with Steven Gerrard where he said, like, I played in a charity game for him, and I really I'd give anything to play for a year for this man, because he gave us such belief, such confidence, so much motivation. And I think what he did sort of straddled social and sporting. And that's why there is so much said about it. And yeah, he didn't win as much as everybody else, but I don't think, as you rightly said, for the people of Liverpool and for the people of Anfield and for the people of the city, it was about winning. I think it was about restoring that respect and that confidence and admiration, belief that they had in their club. That's what he's done, and he's left them. He's rebuilt the side, and he's left them in a great position now to continue being a superpower again.
Yeah, go on, Karen.
I was just going to mention the relationship with the players, because you saw people like Trent Alexander-Arnold, who says, I never cry. And since Jurgen announced he was leaving, at all the various moments, I can't stop crying. No. And then you saw Virgil van Dijk in his arms, sobbing at the final whistle. It's been interesting to see players that you don't think of as being overly emotional reacting in that way.
I think it's the connection that you get with a manager like that when you're striving for what you're striving for, and what those players in particular, those two players, and Jurgen Klopp has been through, tried to chase down this Manchester City side. And this is why, again, it's imperative that something happens with everything that's surrounding Man City, because what that will take from Liverpool and what they could have achieved with those players, with that manager chasing them like they have. I've said it, they made the Premier League interesting because they really had a go at City. And like that generation and that team, you know, it's only a team like City and what they're capable of doing can stop, like Jurgen. Like the way the people are talking about Pep, they could probably talk the same about Jurgen.
Right, I think there are very few transformative managers in the Premier League. Wenger was one. You played for Wenger. Yeah. And I liken what Klopp did when he arrived to what Wenger did when he arrived. There are various junctures in Premier League history where people... Well, Guardiola did it to a certain extent as well. But I think the Klopp has had that kind of transformative effect, whereas he's raised the bar in terms of what Liverpool could do, raised the bar in terms of what other people could expect of Liverpool and the perception of Liverpool as well. And I think challenging City the way that they done it, if it were not for Liverpool, City would have won leagues by wide margins. And then you really could say that this league was uncompetitive.
Yeah.
It was interesting as well to see Guardiola's reaction to Klopp's praise for him, because he talked about that rivalry and how they'd driven each other on, and he was glowing in his praise for Pep Guardiola, which reduced Guardiola, again, a man you don't often think of as, you know, particularly emotional. He was reduced to tears in his press conference.
Yeah, absolutely, he was. I think, for me, with football, you don't really get the chance to have long relationships with people. You know, whether you're moving clubs, managers are coming and going, staff, they're coming and going, but the longer you have that, the more of a connection you have with them. Even if it's a case of going up against like an older adversary over and over and over, you're pushing for a league title. Even though the competitive side is there, the respect is also there. And that respect just increases year in, year out. And, you know, that's from the Guardiola side of things. But I think from the VT, or the video which ran, when a new manager comes into a place, if you were to ask them what would it spend all of next season talking about managers probably going to get sacked and nobody will shed a tear. But from the moment you see fans of that football club shed a tear, they know that that person that's been there helping the side out have been transformative, as Darren said, for what their football club is. And with that, all those managers that have gone up against them. And even from myself, in the last few years, I've been able to speak to him almost as a reporter. When I listen to him talk about football, it almost inspires me, because it takes me back to the way that I could have been spoken to as a player. His vision for it, his passion for it. And the success that he's had in making those players better and giving the crowd something to believe in. That Liverpool today are so different compared to what they were when he first came in. And obviously the team and all the staff helped that. But this is Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, as we're talking about them right now.
Yeah, he said when he came in, that team, he said nobody liked that team, but I did. I saw something in them. I saw something in them that I could build, all of which means that they are big boots to fill. Here's what Jurgen Klopp had to say about his successor.
La, 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 la.
There's a couple of things about that. One is that the PA system wasn't great in Anfield yesterday, and nobody realised that's what he was singing. So there were maybe a couple of people who realised he'd said Arne Slot. A few people thought he was saying Ulla Klopp, which is his wife, and they were singing along with that.
Oh my gosh.
But most people thought he just started his own song and was singing Jurgen Klopp. And so there was it wasn't quite as an effusive a kind of welcome to the club for Arne Slot as maybe it was. But the fact that he tried to do that was kind of a mark of that continuity. And you know, we'll talk more about this at the start of next season. But has he left something that can be built on, do you think, at Liverpool?
Without a doubt. When you look at the young players that's coming through, obviously, the older players, you don't know what's going to be happening with someone like Mo Salah and that. But when you look at the other players and the players that have signed up, the young players that are coming through, it's in really good hands. Again, you just hope that Arne Slot, that's right, yeah?
Yes.
Is, you know, he's going to understand what it means, what the fans and how important the fans are to what's going on in respect to the support he's going to garner for him to then go forward, because the pressure at Liverpool, and one thing with Liverpool and the fans is that they're not booing their players, they're not slaughtering their manager. They will let that manager stay there until he has to go. But once you get them on your side and you're putting the performances in, there's no better place to be. You know what I mean? So you're hoping that he is the kind of manager that can really feed off of and embrace that kind of love he's going to get off the fans. Because if you're a Liverpool manager, you have to have that connection. And I think that, look at some managers who haven't had it, I'd say probably Roy Hodgson. Didn't have Brendan Rodgers. I don't think they had it. I think Rafa kind of got...
They appreciated Brendan Rodgers.
They appreciated him, but like...
And respected Rafa Benitez, but it wasn't on the level of...
Exactly, and, you know, it's very difficult to get it. But if you can get it, you've half the job's done for you.
We should say that although Liverpool got that 2-0 win against 10-man Wolves, could have been even better. And we do like to have a miss. And there weren't really that many glaring ones. But this one, which I think they thought had crossed the line at Anfield, but managed to come in off the crossbar. Which actually the Liverpool fans started to sing the Luis Garcia song straight afterwards, reminding them of the Champions League semi-final with the goal against Chelsea that Jose Mourinho said didn't cross the line. So we found some other misses from the rest of our esteemed panel. Michael Owen?
That's not Michael.
That wasn't me.
That couldn't have...
Who got in my line?
Someone got in your way, look.
Shoulder. I mean, I thought he was going to get it. Shoulder's fault.
Look at Mike. As soon as you see your face as well, Mike, you're gutted.
Just a reminder that you are human. But there is this one as well, Nathan.
For me...
Yeah, we only show misses on it.
You don't know how hard I try to forget stuff like that. Bringing it back now.
Not a bad one, that, mate.
We have to do it because we feel like if we criticise the current players, we have to kind of even that out.
We have to even it out.
With historical examples.
Awesome.
Historic
Good
examples
defending.
of it.
And
then, Wright, here you go. We're running out of yours ones because it...
No way. Impossible. Not him.
It
bobbled. It bobbled.
That's the one you have to try and hit on falling down. Maybe I've got it too wrong. Look, I'm thinking I've got because it's
another one.
Oh, we got two.
Where have you found that? That's not me. Oh, it is me.
Yeah. The problem
that was so. Just trying to get.
Pulled you
get
back.
my foot. Yeah.
Another one.
Couldn't get my foot around it.
Just because it's the last day of the season, we thought we'd get you a hat-trick.
They wanted the corner as well.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, he didn't give a... Oh, he just... Was that Gareth Southgate?
No, I think it was you.
I think
no, it definitely came off you.
Gareth got a toe on it, and then they didn't give the corner, and I was devastated because I said people thought I'd missed.
Well, you can discuss that for a few minutes because we're going to head to a break very shortly. Because after that, we've got it's the ones that all the players really want to put on their.
Jurgen, what was today like for you? Such an emotional occasion.
It was, but somehow it felt different. It felt wonderful. I was prepared to get completely hit. I love everything about this place, but the day felt much more like a start than like an end. Fantastic atmosphere. So the people were really on fire. I said it to the people from now on already. I'm a supporter of Liverpool FC, and that's absolutely fantastic and feels great.
you know, he's just embraced the culture of the whole club, the whole city, the minute he stepped through the door, and now he'll class himself as a adopted Scouser and things like that. And so when you come to the club, you've got no option but to follow him. So yeah, like a fantastic manager, a fantastic person, and I just wish him and his family all the best for whatever they do in the future.
Really proud of the players. I think everybody should be proud of what they managed to produce today. Disappointed that it was sort of decided by VAR intervention, really. Once the yellow's given, I don't understand why we're so desperate to get involved. There's no way that's clear and obvious. There's no way that's what VAR was brought in for.
You welcome the new manager like you welcomed me. You go all in from the first day. Arne Slot! La 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 la.
What a personality, what a character. It won't be easy for Arne to slot in, will it? Klopp departs having, won everything. And I suppose if they hadn't coincided with Pep's Manchester City, who knows how many trophies they would have accrued.
Yeah, he's done an unbelievable job, Gary. When you consider they were 10th in the Premier League when he joined in 2015, 8 games into that season. Everything about him I thought was class. The way he understood the area, what the people needed and wanted. He delivered both on the pitch and off the pitch, which I think is hugely important for that football club. And he just got it. And he's been a huge success, and he'll be a massive miss.
Yeah. You can see how close they pushed Man City in.
Well, this is
season after season.
Well, this is why, again, when you mention the charges and stuff with what's going on with Man City, you look at what. If that doesn't transpire well for them, what have they taken from Liverpool and what Liverpool have done? They've lost the league on 97 points and 92 points. They've chased down Manchester City to Arsenal now are going to have to try and take up those reins. But what Liverpool have done and what he's done in the way that he plays, he represents everything I love about football. He loves the fans, massive connection with the fans, passion, winner. Everything about him is quality of football. He's going to be a massive miss here.
Yeah. He will be one tough act to follow.
Yes.
When we come to the game itself, Gary O'Neill wasn't happy with the red card. We're not so sure about that on this occasion. Wolves have, of course, called for VAR to be scrapped.
That's a dangerous chat. How can you... Listen, I know that they've been hard done by this season, really badly, in respect of the VAR, and they're calling for it. But how can you look at that and say that is not dangerous? That's not a red card. Come on, man.
That was a red card.
Yeah. What do you think about the possibility of VAR being scrapped? The clubs will have to vote. Clubs need to.
I'd go with it. I'd keep, obviously, goal line technology is amazing. Semi-automated, automated cut out, But everything else, I'd probably say, let's get rid of it. We're losing everything. We're losing the celebration of a goal, man.
There's a lot of things going against it. Alan, what do you think?
I would keep it, but I would get people who can run it.
Where are we going to find them?
The way they told us it was going to be run, by not re-refereeing the games and only for clear and obvious.
The problem is, of course, that clear and obvious is very difficult to define. It's certainly not a clear and obvious problem.
9 seasons of Jurgen Klopp. How would you sum up his time at Anfield?
Unbelievable. I'm not a Liverpool fan, and I was in tears today. He's got such a connection. I know a lot of people say he only won 1 Premier League, but he pushed City and the team that he's had, the net spend, everything he's done, the connection with everybody. He's been unbelievable for Liverpool, but also for the Premier League, and we're going to miss an absolute... even look at the players.
At this, it's like father and son, isn't it?
Yeah, he was crying. I think, Trent was it?
Yes.
Yeah, and we were saying it's not very often that you find a connection with your manager. I definitely didn't along my career. So to have that with your players is, but more importantly with the fans. And I think the next manager, I know it was amazing what Klopp did to try and set the net manager, because that shows what a good human he is, because that is difficult to follow. That
well,
way.
he got the club obviously, and he got the city. And Liverpool. Owen, you play for 2 of the biggest clubs in the world in Manchester United and Bayern Munich. But Liverpool is a very special city as well. It's a very political city. He completely chimed with it and got it all. So as much as those who want to disparage his achievements, which I think is madness, of only 1 league title and only 1 Champions League, he won League Cups and FA Cups. It's a lot more than that, though, as well, isn't it, in terms of getting on board with what Liverpool FC stands for?
Yeah, I think you nailed it, Mark. I think he's so much more than a manager. He's so much more than trophies. I think the relationships he builds, whether it's at Mainz, whether it's at Dortmund, whether it's at Liverpool, I've never seen a manager be celebrated like he's everywhere he goes. His players are crying. Most of us are delighted to see the back of our manager. And yeah, see you later.
Yeah.
You know, but he has this connection. Even when you meet him, I remember the first time I obviously knew him from Germany. I interviewed him at Anfield in his office, and training was going on. I came in, and anyway, he walked by and he saw me, and he come over, and I put my hand out to shake his hand. He gave me this big bear hug, you know. And I remember thinking, wow, imagine what it'd be like to play for him. And, you know, I'm just interviewing him, you know. So you can see that connection he has with the fans. And anybody that criticizes he only won Premier League trophy is insane, because what that guy built there when he took that football club over is absolutely out of this world. I've never seen a better pairing between a manager and a club since I've been playing or on the broadcast
And just to answer those critics who say only one Premier League trophy, we've just been talking about Manchester City and how many points they get every season, the fact you need 90 to get near to beating them. In the seasons before Klopp came, they were averaging 63 points a season, Liverpool. Wow. They were averaging 85 points a season under him. So that's 7 wins more a season.
And like I mentioned earlier, the spend is significantly different. And
completely.
The players, he's squeezed every inch and more. I was listening to Adam Lallana speak earlier, and he was saying that before Klopp came in, he didn't believe, he didn't have the confidence. Like, he gave him that, and like I said, he squeezed every bit and more out of any player than you could ever believe. And that's what's got them to where they are. And I think I think he's incredible. I'm absolutely gutted he's going, and I'm not even a Liverpool fan. I just admire him for what he's done. And like I said, one Premier League, but that doesn't define him, what he's done for that football club.
And I think the expression that we were told, which I don't know whether it was the same as I presume it came from Germany, it's heavy metal football. Is that what they used to say about Mainz and Dortmund? I mean, the first thing we were told was, it's his football is heavy metal. It's very appropriate, isn't it? Yeah. Because it was noisy and big bangs and drums and everything.
Well, Pep had his style. Yeah. And Klopp was kind of almost the different side to it. And it was a little bit more pressing, a little bit more kind of off the cuff. And to be fair, they're the only team that's been able to push this Manchester City side. So I love his football. Obviously, Pep's a genius, probably tactically the greatest. But if I could pick one person to play for out of the current ones, it'd be Klopp, because it's a mix of technical. He's a smile on his face, but we're going to come for you as well. It's like a tornado. Yeah. And I think the players absolutely love playing for him.
And huge respect from Pep today, talking about Jurgen Klopp, saying, I'm really going to miss him. No, I'm not really. No, I think he said he's really
but you know what? They just need to, almost in a way, just do it different. They're never, ever going to replace Klopp. Don't even try. No. Just whoever the next guy is, like you said, just go all in on him like they did on Klopp, because that guy is almost irreplaceable. I just wish he was maybe like a president or a prime minister, so we could keep seeing him.
Well, maybe that's next. We'll see.
Here it is then, the Kelly and Wrighty end of season awards. It's the big one. It's the one that you've been waiting for.
Exactly, Kel.
This outranks every other award ceremony that you'll see so far this season. So you've gone for your top 3 players. Yes. We're going to do them in reverse order. Mm-hmm. And at number 3,
Cole Palmer. Yes, I think he's been magnificent.
Cold Palmer.
It's he's moved from whoever got him from Chelsea. Got him to Chelsea from City because of what they've seen that he's capable of doing. Brilliant. Declan Rice has transformed Arsenal. We're doing what we're doing because Declan Rice is a major cog in that. And in at
number 1,
Phil Foden he's played a season, played writers. You know what I mean? With that form, going to the Euros, he could easily be the player of the tournament as well. He's amazing.
There they are then. Cole Palmer at number 3, Declan Rice in at number 2. And debuting this week at number 1, it is Phil Foden. Michael, you've gone for your top 3 goals so far this season, across this season. So what's in at number 3?
3, I like this little back foot touch from Schlupp.
Wow.
And an amazing strike into the top corner. You always got to put one
screamer in.
Screamer in,
haven't you?
That's not getting saved, is it? Right in the top corner. I love this little nutmeg Cole Palmer again, a little Cruyff. And then a lovely finish as well, an individual goal. When I'm picking a goal, I'm thinking difficulty level. You know, I was looking at Casado's great goal from the weekend, but with all due respect, if you give him that 10 times, he'd score 3 or 4. That, nobody can do what he's... And nobody can... You could give me 1,000 of those, and I wouldn't be able to do that one once. So
that
you've got
is
to think
incredible,
a difficulty
isn't it?
level. That's just...
Probably the best one you'll ever see in timing. He's going back towards... So everything has to be perfect. That's as good a overhead kick you will see. He's perfect on that, he was.
Nedum, top 3 defenders.
Yeah, top 3 defenders. So that's 3. I'm going to go for one, Virgil van Dijk. I thought probably a third of the way through the season, so about halfway. He was pivotal for them at the back with the amount of injuries that they had. And considering so many people written him off, then their pressure was on. But I think the big 2 for me this season, starting off with Gabriel, I think he's been great. Considering he didn't start the season, I think there was talk of him potentially going away. But then himself and Saliba, for as much as Rice has been important for them, I think those two have been huge as well, not least of all contributing with the set pieces side of things as well for the best defence statistically in the league this year.
Yeah, you've got to have the 2 best defenders from the best defence in the league in there, and Saliba pivotal, and almost his absence was pivotal at the end of last season as well. You've gone for top 3 moments for the overview, Darren. Come on, let's go then.
Yeah, let's be having.
Well, the third one is Oscar Bob.
Yes.
Now, I don't know which one's better, the through ball. Oh, they've gone for the first one. OK, we'll go for the first one, which is Nunes. Come back, 2 late goals after Newcastle had taken the lead and had a man sent off as well. And Nunes, basically, when all seemed lost, he did this.
Yes.
Brilliant. Second of 2 goals. Didn't have too much time to think.
But it kind of set up a season that promised so much and didn't quite deliver at times. There was a lot of excitement around Nunez at that stage, and then we saw that he didn't applaud Jurgen Klopp. He's deleted Liverpool from his Instagram earlier this season, and everything that references Liverpool's gone from his Instagram. Didn't applaud Jurgen Klopp and was quite quiet in the dressing room at Jurgen. So there's now speculation about his future. We'll talk about that at another stage. Moment number 2.
Was Cole Palmer against Luton. I think we saw it already, where he goes through, drags his foot over the ball, and then he tucks the goal away. And then my moment number 1, what's my moment?
Oscar Bob?
Oscar Bob.
Well, they must have done it in different order for Oscar Bob's goal.
Kevin De Bruyne plays the ball through. Oscar Bob shows quick feet, his feet, tucks the ball away. Absolutely fantastic goal.
Yeah, fantastic moments in the season, and it has been an incredible season with everything going towards the very end. Really, there were still things that were kind of open on the final day of the season, but a title race that goes down to the last day can't really be beaten. What's your prediction? What do you think will happen next season? Very quickly.
Arsenal win the league next season.
Yeah?
Well,
said that last season.
Literally,
the one before that.
I'll say the next season until it happens, because my manager said he's going to bring one. So I'm going for Arsenal. Obviously, City are going to be favourites, but I'm going for Arsenal again.
Michael, one prediction for next season, very quickly. You don't have to.
City to go for 5.
City for 5. Nedum?
So this is the most Premier League goals in a season ever.
Yeah.
I think next year gets topped again.
Ooh.
Wow.
Says the defender.
I think Unai Emery's going to build a Villa team that will challenge for the title.
For the title? That's a big jump.
He's got a big body of work.
Jump.
Liverpool came 25 points behind for challenge for the title.
I mean, he's got a shout for being manager of the season, maybe in the first half.
Can I find someone to get to Europe?
Yeah.
Palace.
Yeah. That's it. Under Oliver Glasner, they've looked incredible at the end.
Join me, Wright.
If they keep the players, Palace are getting into Europe. Palace are going to Europe.
And the thing is, it's all going to change because the transfer window is going to open in a couple of weeks, and then everybody's going to have a different load. And of course, there are different managers going to be coming in. So 14th of June for the transfer window to open. Keep an eye out on the 18th of June when the new season's fixtures will be released, and then we'll be back underway between the 17th of August and the 25th of May 2025, and we will be here with you to cover it all across all of next season. But from all of us, thank you so much for sticking with us this season. It's been a blast, and we've seen so many last dances. That was ours.
Yes.
See you next season. Bye-bye.
Welcome back to Generation XG and our final part of the season. Hopefully our best. Well, it's our favourite anyway, because it's time to reveal our data team of the season, Liam.
Yeah, and I'm going to explain exactly what it takes for you to actually make it into our team of the season. Players must have started 20 Premier League games at least. We're going to play a 4-2-3-1 system. We choose the attribute we want our player to rank top in for each role in the system, and the leader in each metric gets the place in our team of the season. That means we're not picking our favourite players. We're not looking to manipulate the data to make sure certain players are in the team, Leroy. Whoever gets top of the list is in. And you're going to start us off with goalkeepers.
Absolutely. And this was a simple one. What do we want most from our goalkeeper? Goals prevented. Simple.
Stop
we want
goals.
to keep the
Stop
ball
goals.
out of the net. So that was the attribute we wanted from our goalkeeper. So let's start. Who was top of that metric? Jose Sarr. And by the way, by quite a long way. Why do you think that is? 8.5? Why do you think that is? Why he's prevented the most goals?
Well, I think he's having to face a lot more shots than other people. He's having to make a lot more saves. They are saves he's not expected to make. He's making some wonderful saves at times, but he's had a stellar season.
Yeah, he certainly has. I think he's been at the top of that metric a couple of times, actually, since he's been at Wolves. And I think you're right. It's always... it's likely to be a team that's facing plenty of shots. Andre and Arne at Man United... There's been a period where they've conceded 20-plus shots in how many games running. It is, incredible amount of work to do. Jordan Pickford the same. Neto in the Bournemouth goal.
I'm not surprised any of them being
Jose Sarr's had another impressive season, no doubt about that.
Absolutely. So well done, Jose Sarr.
Yeah. Fullbacks?
I think it's on you.
Fullbacks, OK. So what do we want from our fullbacks? We want them to be not taken on by an opponent, so fewest times they've been dribbled past. And we also want tackles and interceptions per 90. So there's solid fullback, a solid fullback. And so what have we got? We've got at the top of that one, dribble past by an opponent. Ezri Konsa tops the list. Only 4 times an opponent has dribbled past Ezri Konsa this season.
That is incredible. He's played fullback for a number of games this season.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka, brilliant in 1v1 situations. 7 times he's been beaten. Ezri Konsa, just 4 times. Tackles and interceptions per 90. Anthony Robinson, so we should say per 90 minutes.
Per 90 minutes.
Absolutely. Anthony Robinson, 4.7.
I love Anthony Robinson because of that, because he's always on the front foot. Sometimes you say his one-on-one defending needs to improve, but he's always on the front foot. How many times will you see him intercept and burst forward?
Yes, I think that's the key. He drives forward. He's always ready. I played with young Anthony as he was coming through at Everton, and he's physically come on so much, and he's a real threat down that left-hand side for Fulham. There's no doubt about it.
2 surprises, though, aren't they? Ezri Konsa and Anthony Robinson at full-backs?
Yeah, I'd say they're both surprises.
But both really solid performers. They're really good.
And Ezri Konsa at centre-half, really.
Yeah,
and he's played
3 centre-halves on that.
He's played a lot at full-back this season, hasn't he?
Well, speaking of centre-halves, let's find out who actually makes our team. Centre-halves, what we're looking for now is opponents bypass per 90. That's how many passes forward they've made. We're looking for a real ball-playing centre-half. And the other one, we're looking for a solid aerial centre-half. Percentage of aerial duels won. So let's take a look and see who topped the metrics.
Well, opponents bypass John-Paul Van Hecke, at Brighton. And this surprised me, because when you think about opponents bypass, you think the players who play the big diagonals, but this is about completed passes. And John-Paul Van Hecke, when he's at Brighton, he plays through the lines and takes out 5 or 6 opponents.
If you watch Brighton and analyse Brighton, the 2 centre-backs stand on the ball, wait for opponents to come to them, don't they? And then they've got the ability to bypass them by playing that longer ball into say, a Danny Welbeck or maybe Evan Ferguson up top, but they can go that little bit longer, and that bypasses a number of opponents. You can see Lewis Dunk's 3rd on that list. He's actually been top of that list previously as well. But Brighton's 2 centre-backs stand on the ball, wait for opponents to come to them, and then try and break the lines.
Absolutely.
Yeah, another one, Virgil van Dijk. I mean, I don't think anyone's really surprised that he's in our team of the season, but, I mean, you might have thought he'd been there for passing, the way he passes it out, but maybe gives a few of those long diagonals away, but certainly tops that aerial duels
I'm
one list.
surprised how big the gap is.
Yeah, it's quite a big gap.
I'm not, because when you watch Virgil van Dijk from corners, he's the most frequent receiver from corners, and by the way, it's impossible to defend against. Always gets first contact. That's in the box. So look, he's really dominant in the air. So that didn't surprise me at all.
Nice for Christian Romero. Actually, got on both of our lists. Didn't quite top it. Doesn't quite make either position for team of the season. But Christian Romero did make both.
Absolutely, both.
A little bit unlucky.
Absolutely.
OK, so
let's
back
go
to you.
Midfielders, central midfielders. So what we're looking for were duels won. Was important. Look, this was all about you. I was looking at you when we made looking at attributes and passing accuracy.
That used to be one position back when we played.
Absolutely.
Win the ball. Yeah, we had to do all of that.
Win the ball. Can you keep it? It's now 2 positions. Let's have a look at the results. Mohamed Kudus was top of duels won. Now, this kind of initially surprised us, but when we look at the way that Mohamed plays, and he's played for West Ham, he is really combative in that midfield area. 10.1 duels won per 90 compared to 8.6. Paulinho, not surprised at all. No. We know he likes to make tackles. The other one surprised us was Paquetá.
Yeah, I think a bit like the goalkeepers, XG prevented.
Yeah.
It's usually a team that doesn't have a lot of the ball.
Yeah, you can see
West Ham definitely don't have a lot of the ball. So Kudus and Paquetá have had a lot of work to do without the ball.
And having played in a David Moyes team for many seasons, he does demand that everybody is involved in winning the ball, not just the centre midfielders, which may have been Ward-Prowse and Souček. It's about everybody contributing, everybody setting up the press to try and win the ball back. And the interesting thing is he's got his two most influential players, his two who are the best on the ball at creating, working as hard as that to win the ball back.
Exactly.
I can see that, but where's Jared Bowen as well? Because Jared Bowen, if you think about that front three in behind, say, Mikel Antonio, Jared Bowen is pretty good at it as well. He works really hard to win the ball back as well. So interesting. No,
I am glad it's a metric I didn't think he'd top. No. But I am glad he's in the team because he has had a fantastic season.
If you'd have given me those 5 names there, duels 1 per 90, without actually a number on the right hand side, I'd have had Paulinho at the top of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, fantastic. And passing accuracy, look, no surprise. We've already spoken about him, Rodri, 92.5, but Billy Gilmour at Brighton as well has a really good season in possessing the ball. Basuma for Spurs this season because of the change of style. Conor Gallagher, we think of as someone who wants to get forward and run it off the ball, has been really accurate with his passes. And Moises Caicedo really starting to come into form for Chelsea, isn't he?
That doesn't surprise me at all.
No.
I mean, we talked about Man City in the first part, the champions, and I analysed Rodri and said he doesn't give the ball away.
Yeah, he does.
Well, there you go. His passing accuracy, 92.5%. He hardly gives the ball away. He occasionally gives the ball away, but not very often so. And I'm glad to see Rodri in the team this season, seeing as I picked him as Man City's main man.
Outstanding contribution.
Absolutely. OK.
Nice. So what's next, Matt?
What's next? OK, so next up is the number 10. So what do you want from your number 10? You want him to create chances, don't you? You want him to be a playmaker.
Yeah.
So chances created from open play per 90. Let's have a look at the results. And I don't think that's a shock to anybody. Martin Odegaard, 2.6 chances created from open play per 90. Now, looking at that, I suppose Salah and Diaz, more wide players. Kulusevski as well, although he has played as a number 10 this season. Bruno Fernandes is an out-and-out number 10, but Martin Odegaard, I think he's quality this season. I think with and without the ball.
Yes.
I mean, I've been impressed with him, of course, with the ball. We know how gifted he is, but actually, without the ball as well. Again, you talked about David Moyes, what he wants from his teams when they don't have possession. Arsenal have been superb.
I do, but I look at those players and they're the player in each team that their manager wants to get the ball to. So they may play different positions. Salah and Diaz may play high and wide. That's where Liverpool want to get the ball to. Odegaard, Arsenal want to go through him. Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes, they want to get the ball into that area of the field. But no surprise that Odegaard's topped it because, I mean, not only has he been outstanding in that position, he's been captain, he's been a big influence, and, yeah, what a wonderful player.
Absolutely, and the reason why he's in that position where he can make chances is because of his work without the ball.
Yeah.
You know, and he's not, you look at him, he's a diminutive player. When he first came from Real Madrid, you think, oh, is he big enough, is he going to be strong enough? But what he is, he's so aggressive without the ball, and he's not the one who'll win it. It'll be the next person who'll win the ball, give him the ball in space, and then you've got to have that ability and that creativity and quality to create chances. He has been absolutely outstanding for Arsenal this season.
He has. And so next up, we'll do wingers, wide men, whichever way you want to look at. For them, we're looking for XG performance and goals involvement per 90. So let's see who tops the metrics for both of them. Phil Foden, XG performance. He's scoring a lot more goals than the actual opportunities that we're seeing them creating. He's not expected to score that. Usually we see a striker top in that list. Matt, are you surprised?
Yeah, no, I'm not actually. I think when we look at that as well, those players there on that list, and well, the majority of them anyway, have scored a lot of goals from outside the box.
Yeah.
I think they're low-quality chances, which obviously go in your favour when we're looking at XG performance. I think Phil Foden scored 6 goals from outside the box this season. Callum Hudson-Odoi, we've seen it a lot, coming off that left-hand side, on his right foot, bending them into the corner from distance as well. Son scores goals from distance.
Son always beats his XG.
Bowen on the list is interesting. We've just seen his masterclass, and he said if you want to be recognised as one of the top, you've got to be getting numbers, scoring goals and creating chances.
And Mateta has had a wonderful end to the season with his goals. Goals involvement per 90. I think Cole Palmer's been incredible, hasn't he? I mean,
Well, they're dead
we
level, aren't
couldn't
they?
split Cole Palmer and Erling Haaland for this metric. Both of them are always involved in everything that the team has done. So, fortunately for us,
So Cole Palmer gets in, yeah?
He gets in because let's have a look at the striker metric that we're looking for, and it's quite a simple one: minutes per goal.
Yeah.
And this is no surprise. The guy with the most goals per minute is Erling Haaland. He scores a goal every 95 minutes. And by the way, he's not had a great season. 36 Premier League goals last season, 27 this season, and he's lifted the Premier League
He had a
title.
stretch of time injured. He's topped the goal-scoring charts. When people thought it was getting close, they weren't sure. A few weeks back, he had a burst and basically said, this trophy's mine.
Word for Alexander Isak as well. How good has he been at Newcastle this season? He's second on that list behind Erling Haaland. He's impressed. He's so cool. Every time he goes through on goal, you think he's going to score, don't you?
Absolutely. And the importance of a striker when you are struggling. Chris Wood, important goals. You know, Nottingham Forest was struggling right towards the end of the season, just secured their Premier League status on the last day of the season. But his goals, a goal every 129 minutes, and he missed them few chances towards the end of the season as well. So vital for Nottingham Forest.
So let's have a look at the team. Let's have a look at it overall. Will you be impressed with that team, Matt?
That's a decent side. I mean, I'm looking at it and thinking I wouldn't necessarily have Kudus as a centre midfielder. I'd probably have Declan Rice on my evidence this season of watching it. That's probably... Numbers didn't allow it. Kudus obviously wins the ball back more than Declan Rice does. So put him in alongside Rodri, but he'd probably have got in, I think.
I think given those players, you could certainly make a team. you could make an incredible team out of those players.
Arsenal fans be looking at it thinking, here comes only one Arsenal player in that. But Arsenal were a terrific team this season, and that's why I think...
and actually you could switch that. You could make that a 4-1-4-1. I mean, we had to play 4-2-3-1, but we could do Rodri as a holding midfield player, Foden in one, Kudus on the left-hand side, Haaland up top, and then defensively...
A lot of left-footers in the attacking part of the team, though.
I think our team would win the Premier League. I think it's our data team.
It wouldn't be far off.
Yeah.
OK, so we picked the team.
Yeah.
We haven't got a metric for managers, but if you had to pick a manager for your team of the season, who would you pick? I suppose it's hard to go against.
I would go with Mikel Arteta. I think he deserves something from the season. I think he's had a good run. Yes, he's got a bit to learn, but yeah, I'm going to go with my ex-teammate in that one.
I like Ange. I like his style. I like being on the front foot.
It'd be an exciting team to watch.
It'd be an exciting team to watch under Ange.
What about yourself?
I'm probably going to go Unai Emery. I think Unai Emery got his team into the Champions League, didn't he, this season? A terrific effort. Unfortunately, that's it from us, though, isn't
That's all we've got time for,
Big thanks to big thank you, Leon, Leroy, for all your contributions this season. And, of course, to you for watching as well. Don't worry, we'll be back next season. Generation XG will be back. Until then, from us all, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.